Like, they kind of look alike, same type of just aggressive, dominant, powerful games. So Greek Freak could probably get a couple of votes. Sixth Man of the Year award, they consensus say, these experts say that Andre Iguodala will probably get the Sixth Man of the Year award. Yeah. Has been very good in that role over the last couple of years, ever since that he's been in Golden State. A lot of people forget. It's been many years now. People forget, man, Andre Iguodala was pretty much, the main guy on the Philadelphia 76ers for many years. I guess he was kind of like the next big player on that team after Allen Iverson started to lose a couple of steps or whatever, man. But that guy is really a starter on 90% of the teams in the NBA. So he's getting the most votes from the experts. And also Eric Gordon, point guard, two guard, shooting guard for the Houston Rockets, gets a couple of votes. He played great this year as well. He started in all but 6 games of his previous 7 NBA seasons before going to Houston this year. But he's been incredible off the bench. He's 3rd in the league in three-point attempts, 4th in three-pointers made, and plays a starter share of minutes. So really a guy that could start for most teams in the NBA as well. And lastly, last one I wanted to mention. No, let me mention Defensive Player of the Year. So the experts think that Rudy Gobert out of Utah is going to get the award this year. How has Utah won 50 games? The Jazz allowed the fewest points, and Gobert is the center of that. He leads the NBA in blocks with 2.7 points per game and defensive win shares at 6. Players shoot just 55% against him in the restricted area, which leads all centers. They've also got Draymond Green for a vote as well. And who they have actually, who else did they have? They had one more player. No, I don't even see who the other player was. And lastly, before we talk about the Coach of the Year, one other category, Rookie of the Year. I think most people agree Joel Embiid, Malcolm Brogdon, former Virginia player who had a great year this year, man, for the Milwaukee Bucks. Got a couple of votes as well. Coach of the Year, once again, Mike D'Antoni for the Houston Rockets. Phenomenal job this year. Can't take it away from him. Yeah, think about this. James Harden is leading the league in assists while averaging a career high in points and rebounds at the same time. D'Antoni has made one of the best players in the league even better by moving him to point guard on a full-time basis. And the results, the Rockets winning 54, 55 games, or 55 games now, and finishing with the 3 seed in the Western Conference. And lastly, this is a bad indicator. This story just came out yesterday, once again, with all of these experts. The experts got they got James Harden winning an MVP. Here's their rationale. It says there's no correct answer but Harden and Russell Westbrook, but ultimately they believe that Harden's efficiency, they're going to say no one has created more points per game in NBA history with an incredible true shooting percentage to boot, is more important than the difference between 9 and 10 rebounds a game. And they don't buy the argument, these experts, quote-unquote experts, don't buy the argument that Westbrook's teammates are any worse than Harden's. What? I disagree. You got Ryan Anderson. I just talked about, what's his face? I just talked about, who was I talking about? Oh, Eric Gordon. You got a couple of players on that Houston Rockets team. You don't have the same level of teammate that they do in Houston, in Oklahoma City. I'm not going to get back into that. Y'all know how I feel. If you're new to the show, I am big-time proponent of Russell Westbrook winning the league MVP this year. Big time. Big time. And it's almost a toss-up now. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I don't think Harden doesn't or hadn't had a year where he would get the MVP in most cases, but he just picked the wrong year. He picked the wrong year. He picked the year where a guy is averaging a triple-double. Only one other person in NBA history has done that. And that person did it over 55 years ago. I think it's Russell Westbrook's award, man, but we will see. It's not going to be, what do we have here? I saw somebody in the chat room says that co-MVP is coming. It's not going to happen, Big L. Big L says that co-MVP is coming. Nostradamus, Big L, 2017. You know that the writers vote on this thing, right? So I don't know how many writers are going to vote on this thing, but it have to be the exact amount of writers, vote for Russell Westbrook that voted for James Harden. The chances of that happening are very minuscule, and they may even have a situation where it's an odd number, so it's no way possible. It's not going to be co-MVPs, which they've done several times in the NFL. It's not going to be co-MVPs. One of these cats is going to win it, and I think Russell Westbrook should get it. From Fly Tie Cool, Andre, I understand that I did 16 more than I planned. Oh, they're talking about the military and the great Charlie Murphy and the time that he spent in the Navy. Yeah. From Montana Jones, white media always changing the narrative. Triple-double was all the talk for years, but now it's not important. Right. And not that it's not important, but they're definitely devaluing it this year. And I think, in principle, because they don't like the person, or the person hasn't kissed their ass as much as they'd like to in the past. And talking about Russell Westbrook, I'm kind of it's literally like one day I'll read stuff and see stuff on TV and how people are talking about this, and I'll think like, okay, Westbrook gonna get it. And then another day I'll hear like all of this surge of James Harden proponents. And so, I don't know. I think it's literally a coin toss. Like, it's probably going to be very, very close. You're probably going to have the closest voting, and they always reveal how people voted or the numbers at the end of the day on how people voted for these MVP awards. We're probably going to have the closest voting in NBA MVP history, voting history. I mean, there's no way around it because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people, and there's an argument to be made. I'm not denying that. There's an argument to be made that James Harden had the better year. I get that. I just think that the X factor, okay, the thing that separates them is this man has done something historic. James Harden almost did something historic, but he didn't do it, okay? He almost did. And you know what almost is only good in? Horseshoes and hand grenades, or whatever the saying is. So, I mean, he picked the wrong year to have his best year ever, period. From Corey, Russ should be the MVP, but many people felt Harden should have got it last year, and now they want to give it to him this year. You know what? That's a good point. That's probably factoring into this thing as well. Last year, I thought he should have got it. I thought he should have got it last year. Who won it last year? Steph won it last year. If you remember, if you listened to the show last year, I thought he should have won it last year. And you know what? Kind of like a makeup call. Kind of like what the referees do in these games, man. They actually give makeup calls. They do it in football. They do it in basketball, clearly, where they'll make a bad call and then they'll follow it up with a bad call, a questionable call for the team that had the bad call earlier. They do it all the time, and so I think subconsciously in their mind, man, they are thinking, man, James Harden has been fantastic and played at this high level for the last 2 years. I should have gave it to him last year. I'm going to give it to him this year. So I agree with you. There's probably some truth to that. From Andre Elam, Mo, he's the first black general in South Carolina history. He has his own day in South Carolina. He's young, too, only 55 years old. I probably know who you're talking about. I didn't see who you mentioned earlier, Andre. Hopefully I'll see it. My chapter, the Zai Side chapter of the Q's. Speaking of which, I didn't even mention it. Today is my 27th year in the frat. 27-year anniversary. Yeah, 27 years in the frat today. Happy birthday to Terranome 32, Spring 90, Zai Sai. But I was about to mention my chapter, Q's that came through South Carolina State. We have I want to say 4 or 5 4-star generals. or however many generals it is more than like the normal. It's like very few, and there's even fewer black generals. So they call South Carolina State's ROTC program the Black West Point, because South Carolina State has put out more commissioned black officers, I think it is, than any other school in the country. That's right, number one for many years. That's right. ROTC program at South Carolina State is big. And once again, we put out more black commissioned officers at South Carolina State than any other school in America, or we had for many, many years, and I believe that's still the case. And we have several high-ranking generals in the military, or have had in the past and still have today. There's a general, Twitty. There's several. I'm not going to even start naming them because I can't off the top of my head. But many, many influential people in the military, high-ranking officials in the military, and we put out a lot of commissioned officers from South Carolina State's ROTC program. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, a little entertainment talk. Still kind of chopping it up about the great Charlie Murphy. I'm talking about 1993 as well. And just doing what we do on a Throwback Thursday. Thank you for joining your boy. If you're new, yeah. All right, when we get back from the break, entertainment talk. More Charlie Murphy stuff once again. More entertainment. Birthdays and all of that. We'll get into all of that. Coming up next on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away.
Rhyme theory, mind theory. Shorty was out for the dreams of living it. Thought hard about larger than life schemes of getting rich. Controlling, holding, bank rolling and such. From the young age of 9, Shorty had enough. Only scenes in his eyes was corrupt. This is how you get what you want, what you need. Top of the line for Shorty, blooming Project C. Got the smart for the school, but love the street living. Excited his mind, fame, the vision. Napoleon claimed the name, played the part, maintained the heart, knew the game. Street raised to stay smart. Shorty made it art form and crafted 16. Do the math, added in dog years, that was too well advanced. For all his average peers, but had a team of some wild out teens committed to rolling up, holding you up, slowing you up. Had his made mad up for a stripe, sizing you up. Adapt tactic for wild avenues and crews. Concealed Maddox for any trial blaze on you. Young calling the shots, only previews for dudes in all spots. Spoke for the boys who pump short shot and red tops. Now come the intricate plot by ways of rivalry. Comes thinking lava, they try to be steady on the come up. High wire for opportunity. 7 signs of sin wrapped up to spell. Only time will tell who goes to heaven or hell. We be in the streets wildin' out, thugged out, bugged and blackout. Lethal and provoked to arouse, hear me out. Raise up,
raise up,
ease up,
ease up,
raise up,
raise up,
ease up,
ease up,
raise up,
raise up,
ease up,
ease up. Warriors come out to play.
This is the place where worlds collide. Separate clapper from rapper and rappers from actors. In too deep must consider the factor. If it's fame, just think it over. Only few heads get the name of supernova. The rest be focused, always bout the hustle. Looking for ways to get paid using their muscles. Some stay trouble. Will I go gold? Even hit lead? She got me fed. Should I look for a job and stop bagging my head? Until this world turn cold. Nigga, I don't care about you or how you roll. Don't hate a man for flashing. Still spending his cash he never had. So when he slips, his ass out, leave him holding his dick. Labels more dick, slip Willie. Smack a nigga silly, play tricks with they money. Too hungry, fake that. Had to do a move I learned from Havana. Desperate for greenbacks, $1 million steak cash. The meaning of this, Brooklyn ain't mill sticky. We commanders be heavy every time, ever ready. Cool, cooler, gritty, shitty. Believe, no tricks up the sleeve. We back straight at your headpiece. Not meaning no harm to make it bad for your health. Raise up, ease up, don't make it bad for yourself. Penalties are momentary, memories